Oh, I wash my hands. I always wash my hands. Okay. I have a headache. I'm hoping it sides with this coffee. Boop. Happy Thursday, Nature Boy. It's going well, Crispy Carp. How you doing, dude? Yeah, so someone here, you, has pink eye again. Well, you got pink eye again on like Monday or Tuesday. And then that pink eye spread to his other eye for the first time. So now I've washed, I forgot to wash all of his bedding stuff on Monday or Tuesday. So it's viruses don't usually live on surfaces long like bacteria does. So I washed his bedding right now. And I put his little eye goop in. His other eye is not contagious to his other eye, but I don't want it to keep stacking up. So I'm pretty much going to keep using those little eye antibiotics until, in both of his eyes, probably all the way until next Wednesday. He should be good. You should be good, huh? Little turtle. And he, like, we weren't going to the park, but it's going to rain this weekend. So I was like, oh, I'll take him to the park today. And he saw all of his friends at the fucking park. And I was like, nope, sorry, he's got pink eye. Nope, sorry, he's got pink eye. Nope, sorry, he's got pink eye. It's not an antibiotic, it's a steroid. But after 2 days of it, he's not contagious. I'm saying antibiotic because my brain's fucked right now. I think they said that conjunctivitis in dogs is viral versus it in humans can be viral or bacterial. Oh. He's in like, oh, button. Sounds like you would know better than me, man. I don't know, really. I think I thought that the vet was saying that as a point to it being like, oh, blah, 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 viral, so on and so forth. I just know that in humans it can be one or the other. Oh. I think it's because I've been like, my caffeine intake's been all funky lately. Don't do that, lady. What's up, SJ? Oh, he'll be fine. It doesn't bother him at all, Crisp. I got it too. Like, his eye hasn't even started to turn pink. And I was like, you know what? This is the day before, the discharge that happens before his eye turns pink. I'll just jump ahead of it and put it in. Look at you, look like you did something. Here. You look like you did something. You were a butt. The whole time at the park today. Didn't want to listen. Didn't want. You didn't want to do anything. He's looking at me like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What's up, Rob? Let's go. Things are going well, man. Kind of just enjoying the slow steadiness of last Epoch. It's not the... So what I did, SJ, here, I'll show you guys my build. Of course, Nepo. Good to help out, dude. So here's the build we're running right now. I haven't looked up a coop pillow in like fucking 6 months. I'm I'm sorry, Hyde. It's 10:27 in the morning for me. So sticking with kind of an attunement route, right? Going with some paladin or some companion buffs. And this is only going to be right for like 75. We still have 38 points that we can put into Druid for some extra health and some extra attunement. Into Beastmaster for probably getting like the aspect of the boar buff. Probably do that here. But Shaman, we're just kind of focusing on buffing up our lightning damage. You know what? Bolt. Yeah, we have these to increase our storm bolts. What does this do? What does this do? It's actually pretty good. What is this? Your direct spell casts have a chance to cast Stormbolt, while channeling you have a chance to cast Stormbolt. Well, that's not as good. Not terrible. So we're relying on a lot of Stormbolt action, a lot of totem action. And then our skills, we've got Gathering Storm. Gathering Storm's going to help summon Maelstrom for us. It's going to also scale off of our attunement a little bit better because we're going to get spell damage from melee damage on our weapon. Our wolves are going to be a vehicle for more Stormbolts. Stormbolts just fucking flying out the willy-nilly because of the wolves. But the wolves will also buff us because of their howl. And they can also, well, again, make more Stormbolts whenever they get hit. Then Maelstrom is going to be a further vehicle of our Stormbolts. By it, every time it creates, it can give me haste. It's going to give me frenzy. It increases my damage. And again, it's just more Stormbolts. If I go over to the Storm Totem is going to give me lightning damage increase. It's going to give me move speed increase. It's going to give me shock chance. And then it's going to just also give me more melee lightning damage. And it itself will do lightning damage. Now, my Stormcrows are kind of interesting. They are going to be a minor vehicle for... Well, actually, no, I don't think there's any Stormbolt in them. They're really going to be just buffing lightning damage. They're going to also be my traversal. So Crow Storm will be my traversal skill that I'll use to allow me to teleport from different locations. And then the crows themselves will now buff up the totem using Wisdom of the Storm. Hell yeah, Stern. Good to hear that, man. I'm glad you're having fun with the sorcerer. So we'll see how this goes. It might not be great, but I think it's a good starting point. I don't even know many of the uniques that I could build into this build that would make it work better. Yeah, so I think on paper it seems like a decent enough build, SJ. We'll just kind of see how it performs. And right now we're using Fury Leap. Once we get 35, we'll put those points into Stormcrows, and then have our Stormcrows become our traversal in due time. I think there's some builds some new drops that are active. Yeah, Bleed Wolves is very, very, very strong. It's super strong. You use Wolves and you go down this line for Bleed, and you use Swipe. It does have some Bleed chance improvements here, physical shred chance, but the big thing is that this is going to scale with your wolves. That's the big focus there, right? Go ahead and okay, same drops as last time. Got it. Thank you. I thought about using Raptor does have really good bleed stuff too. That's actually a good point. I thought about using the Thorn Totem and going into this. So you summon your max number of Thorn Totems at once in a ring around those target location, but your max number of Thorn Totems is reduced, and summon Thorn Totem costs additional mana. It'll also summon your Spirit Totems, your Storm Totems. It summons all totems. But I don't know. What I was finding is I just really am not using anything in the Shaman line outside of this, and it felt kind of crappy. I mean, you can do whatever you want, Rachel. Whatever you feel makes you feel like you're gonna feel like a big girl, big girl, big poops. Big girl takes big poops. What up, Hoskew? How you doing, dude?
Yes. Stay safe.
When I was growing up, there was one day where my mom was like, "You guys need to come in here."
Stay safe.
My brothers and I. And like, okay, well, what is she talking about? And we went to she summoned us into the bathroom. We go in the bathroom. She goes, look at this poop. This poop's the biggest poop I've ever pooped. And it was like a poop that was so long it was coming out of the water. And we were like, Mom, what the fuck? So when people ask me like, hey, where's your poop joke stuff come from? Like, my fucking mom. My 5-foot little Italian mother. Oh, also, what we're going to do is we're going to switch into dual wielding. Because Gathering Storm has this really cool node. Whenever you expend a Storm stack while dual wielding, you now cast Storm bolts at 2 enemies instead of 1. So I'm going to start working towards that here today. Sorry if I seem a little off today, guys. I'm waiting for my head. Waiting for my head to kind of like kick back in. It's just kind of been a little. It's a headache, and it's coming and going because it's a headache, headache. Dude, I got this liquid cocaine right here. Minimum specialized level is a good mechanic, hate. You know, Hyde, I do, because I kind of like it that it allows me to kind of restructure the way I play the character. Like, rather than me just going, oh, I'm going to respec the character. And you jump into that really kind of weird phase where you have like, I think what they've done is they've taken, you make a brand new spec, you jump into it, and you have like 1 or 2 play sessions where you kind of don't understand things. You're trying to build new muscle memory. You're trying to kind of get around the new rotation, everything like that. And I think they took that time and said, well, listen, we're going to just give you advanced experience gain to match up with the, like your current skill level. So by the time you've done that, you've built in new rotations into yourself, because I think it's like a little more of an incremental change. I think people look at it like, dude, I could just press one button on all these other games and I reset everything and I'm good to go. Versus this game, I have to re-earn my levels. I feel like that's not as fun. I think personally it's probably about the same difference. I think it's you're looking at the immediate gratification versus like the less mental gymnastics side. Yeah, I know. But like I said, anytime you make you respec fully into anything, you have that point where you're like, oh shit, you press the same button, wrong, fuck, wrong, oh fuck, wrong, oh fuck, wrong. I think I can only have 2 though. I need my totems now really are just fucking Bustamante. When Smog gets in here, Smog might be playing with us today. He's playing a Falconer. It's just not fun. He's just so fucking strong. The Falconer is disgusting. I think the Falconer is gonna get a pretty gnarly nerf. Which I think is fine too at the same time. Oh, SJ, you know smog. Don't complain. Oh. I cannot wait, though, to see Dune Part 2 today. I am so fucking stoked. My jimmies are tight. Look at all these storm bolts cracking off, dude. I love it. This thing fucking die, please. Thank you. I'll spoil it for you. Dumbledore dies at the end. What a giant word from Tremors. Ladybird, dude. You haven't been to the cinema in ages? How dare you, man? I will go to a movie on my own. I love movies. Yeah, I'll raw dog a movie solo for sure. For sure. It might be underrated, but it's also highly recommended. Go see a movie on your own. Liberating. Feels good. Yeah. You walk out. Bohemian Rhapsody, damn. You know, though, SJ, if you're gonna see a movie in theaters, that's the one. Like, I've tried to tell people to watch that movie, and like, yeah, I watched it at home, and it was okay. I'm like, nah, man. Game like Old School Baldur's Gate and Diablo New Colors. Those are two different games, Rasp. This is more like Diablo than anything. The audio? What do you mean? Oh, yeah. Like, that audio in theaters and all, like, it kind of felt like you were really there for, like, a split second. And you're like, holy shit, dude, this is transformative. Good for you, Crisp. Yeah, I go with the wife too, Rob. There's a theater down the street I go all the time. I was talking to my friend, so she's like from this area, born and raised. I am not. And a lot of things in Southern California, if you know your history, are related to the possible murdering of mass amounts of Native Americans. And this area is basically one giant Native American burial ground. So there's like a staggering amount of buildings in this area that are apparently haunted, and I had no fucking idea. And the movie theater is one of them. She was like, yeah. And so her name is Xcaret, which is remember it's a specific place in Mexico City. Like it's not a name like that you could overhear commonly. You know, like my name's Ryan. You know how fucking often I hear the name Ryan and it's not me, and I have to be like, don't look, man, it's not you. So she's like, oh yeah, like, you know, I've heard my name said very vividly in like the city hall building that I work in. I'm like, oh, no, thank you. But she used to work at that movie theater, and she was like, yeah, theaters 1, 3, and 5 are haunted. I'm like, what the fuck? She's like, yeah, you'll feel like it'll feel cold when you're in there alone sometimes, and you'll feel something like brush against you. I'm like, nope. And she's like, yeah, the projector for that one is she's like, we call it haunted because it's really eerie, but I I don't know, like nothing's ever personally happened to me, but every time I'm in projector room 1, I just feel like something's watching me. I'm like, got back. Did we figure out if the reason that Roman got pink eye was because of Time Sparkus didn't watch it? It's not me. I'm not the pink eyer. We go to the park, and the park uses fucking reclaimed water. And that reclaimed water has probably got poop minerals in there, minerals. And that gets in his eyes sometimes. He just rolls around. Dogs, all the dogs that walk in that park eat that fucking grass. They like, oh. They fucking like, oh, it's spring mix? They go to town on it. So, I don't know what the fuck, man. Like, I don't know what they're putting in that spring mix over there. Hi, Eduardo. Do you live alone? Balloon mounts and angry spiders. I think Roman got like a tick from there or something. I went to the gym one day after I think I had taken Roman out or whatever, and I felt something crawling on the back of my head, and I was like, oh fuck, and I went like this, and I've never personally seen a tick in my life. It kind of looked like one. I looked up pictures of deer ticks, and it kind of looked like one. And dude, I had a fucking like 3-day panic attack because I am terrified of ticks. Because Lyme disease stays with you forever, and there's no real conclusive evidence if it's not sexually transmitted either. And the meat allergy one, yeah, like dude, ticks are not my friends. But I saw it, and I was like, oh my god. And you have to get bitten by the tick that has the disease, and it has to like stay on you for a long period of time. You don't just see a tick, the tick bites you, and you're like, I've got Lyme disease. It's not like fucking Spider-Man. But I can tell you my brain did not rationalize that when I saw it. I was like, my god, just fucking cut the limb off. I do not like those fucking creatures. And if you know anything about... See, right? There you go, right? Eat more veg? What are you talking about, Hyde? What's wild to me, too, is that, like... ticks are like... They're not man-made. But ticks in America are the result of us. There were studies that initially showed that, like, not studies, there were studies being done on ticks to see if we could weaponize them. And I don't know how the fuck this shit happens, right? It got out. It was a lab, like, off the coast of somewhere in the fucking Atlantic north or southeast. And they have been spreading through the southeast of the United States since that happened in the 60s or 70s or whatever the fuck. Ticks are not, like, in the number that they are, they're not indigenous to this area. They're, like, and they're super invasive species. They are fucking assholes. I'm just saying we're sleeping on the tick thing, man. The tick thing, that's gonna be the thing that, like, fucking decimates us as humans. Oh yeah, that fucking massive tick-borne disease is what does it. And now humans are relegated to only eating battery acid, and we can't make enough battery acid to sustain ourselves. We've colonized the moon just to make more battery acid plants. I think my bait answer that I was not loving and finding out I work. Good for you, Nep. I'm glad that happened, dude. Yeah, but I don't know if the tick was on Roman or if it was someone in the gym. And I don't even know if it really was a tick because... Oh, God, I hate just typing this fucking picture in. It didn't really look like this. Like it looked more like this has like a teardrop, right? This had more of like a blocky, like it was like curved at the bottom, then like hard cut in at the top. Like, oh god, dude. Oh god. Oh, I don't even like looking at the pictures. Oops. Oh my god, how Australians have some pretty hot takes on things. No, thank you, dude. Had a tick on the sack. I have had like 10 on me over the years, and one got in on my daughter's hair for 24 hours. I checked her and still got removed. No. Yeah, I mean, like I said, a tick being on you or biting you is not a big deal. It's just when it's been on you for a long time that it becomes really bad. Yeah, I walk Roman through a park, but the park is like it's a green belt, so it runs. It's just basically like a lawn, like do they fucking mow this fucking? They mow the grass of this park every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Like that's just absurd. It's just absurd. But so it always is like fucking bleeding grass. It's just basically like there's houses all around, and it's a stretch of grass that runs in between these houses, hence the name Greenbelt. And then there's a big park that the Greenbelt meets in the center of. There's a school on one end, and there's like a street on the other. It's not like a natural park, you know what I mean? Yeah, ticks aren't. I mean, I live in Southern California, where it's not much of an issue either. Only if you go in the mountain areas. We're causing some serious issues like heart disease and blood. Yeah, see, that's what I mean, man. Fuck ticks, dude. What's up, J. Fred? How you doing, dude? I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan. I have a friend who does, like, he goes hiking and he does trail running a lot, and he's like, yeah, you know, ticks are just part of it. I'm like, no. Ticks aren't part of anything for me. This is last Epoch. The park's beautiful, man. Like, it's this huge open park, and like the playground of the park opens up into a huge grass field, and that grass field then adjoins into the school. And they in this area, there's a lot of schools that are just tucked into the neighborhoods. You'd never know the school was there. Like I've been living here for like almost 20 years, and I had no idea that school was there, let alone that park was there. Whereas where I grew up, schools are off of like major thoroughways. So the like city, the neighborhood, right? You know how fucking white neighborhoods can get, right? Like, no, god damn it, these immigrants are gonna take our jobs. I'm like, you're C-level staff, you're C-level staff at like some major corporation. What are you talking about? But so not in my backyard. Well, the school district in the city want to make a big, large fence that would segregate the school. That's maybe not the word. That would separate the school from the park. And the neighborhood's like, no, we don't want that. It's big, open, and beautiful. Like, it's like a really cool, like, communal park, because the whole neighborhood uses it, like almost exclusively that neighborhood. And they have like concerts in there during the summer, stuff like that. But it's so wild to me that I'm like, yeah, you know, I guess I could understand why you'd want to fucking do that. Like, someone could just walk on and start shooting You know, like that's a harsh reality that we deal with. Or even worse, someone could just go walk into one of the bathrooms and wait, because this is one of the ones that was brought up like during the meeting. They were like, yeah, someone could walk into the bathroom, wait for a kid to go use the bathroom in the middle of the school day, and then just take the kid. And I was like, oh my God, man. Like, I don't have to think about these things. I'm not a parent. Oh, shit. It is now on a list. Yeah, man. Sorry, this entire thing is a honeypot. Yeah, I don't know either, Booty Thief. You know, like... I would just say... And again, I'm not a parent. I don't deal with this stuff on the reg. I don't have a lot of friends that are parents, so I'm sure they would have different opinions. Like, my brother probably has experienced this. But, like, something becomes real to me in the sense that, like, it's an actual issue that I need to, like, kind of take a little bit more seriously when there are second or third hand accounts of it. I'm not trying to get into a conversation on, like, COVID. Please don't go this route. I'm not trying to jump into this loophole. But in the very beginning, you're like... In the very, very beginning, right? In 2020, you're like, don't open the door. It's outside the door. It's right outside the window. It's hovering there like a bunch of bees. That's how it was kind of made out to be. But when it comes to, like, children and abductions and stuff like that, I have never met, first, second, or third hand, anyone who has had an abduction. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't exist. I'm definitely not saying that. I'm saying that, like, I wonder if it's as blown out of proportion as all things are nowadays, or if it truly is, like, an issue. Like, I'd be more worried about, like, rather than child abduction, like, if I had, like, a daughter, like, her being, like, fucking snatched up and sold into a sex trade. That I have heard. I get Amber Alerts, not all the time, but enough. Like, I mean, probably, 2 a year. But to me, because that process, that system is so strong now. According to the FBI, in 2022, there were 359,000 entries for missing children. In 2021, the total number of missing children entries was 337,000. This number represents reports. Damn, okay, well. Shut me up. So a family member, J. Fred, and less of like a stranger. The media is too busy covering just the next thing to scare the fuck out of you. If you live in Southern California, I'm sure that you guys outside of Southern California or out of California have heard about the hurricane that we had to deal with and the big winter storm that we just had to deal with. It wasn't really a big thing. Like, they made it out like dude, people went to the grocery store and bought up non-perishables because the media had, like, jammed up their asses that, like, the hurricane coming to Southern California means you're gonna need to batten down the hatches. And they said it's a 2-day thing. Like, there's no reason to go buy all the fucking rice, toilet paper, and pasta in the grocery store for a 2-day rainstorm. Yeah, dude, 100%. Yeah, I just think people's ability to self-manage that now has become way worse in the last 4 or 5 years. Because like maybe the last time that we didn't take it seriously, like the fucking country shut down, and people are like, oh no, now we gotta go buy toilet paper. Yeah, Jay, and it's like if you don't have like a gas powered generator, what are you doing? You know. Tornado sirens are fucking terrifying. What was it called? Oh, that's a headache, and it's in my head. That's a headache, and it's in my head. That's a good melee damage bonus, though. I like that melee damage. That melee damagio. We'll do this. Do this. Do this. Do this. What do we get? Nope. Do this. What do we get? Not even any better. No. That sucks. Could you imagine having nuclear fission? Yes, I have, Jay Frederick. I'm like halfway through the second episode. Shogun is so good. If you like Japanese... I fucking hate the English guy, right? Like, you fucking got me fucking savages. In general, I have a large issue with British imperialism. It makes me want to replay, makes me want to replay Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, man. Ghost of Tsushima was so fucking good. I still haven't beaten it. I'm at the very end. Yeah, I'm just saying, next time you want to throw fucking cast stones at America, you blame Britain first. You blame fucking Britain first for all the bullshit. It's called Ronin, Booty Thief. I think it's by Team Ninja too, the same people who make Ninja Gaiden. Well, that's gonna rip through my system. I'm gonna be fucking wild in a little bit. I also called my horse Nobu. I definitely chose him. Britain can thank us for the ending of the Barbary state, which fucking held Britain and the majority of Western Europe ransom just so they could ply trade anywhere in the world. The Barbary states, the Barbary Wars is like the fucking coolest. Hey, we're not really much of a nation yet, but by God, if we're gonna get fucking pushed around, like, So the Barbary Wars are spread across 2 different wars, right? I think it's pretty quickly after the War of 1812. I think it's like 1817 and 1823 or something. Or no, I think it's like 1821 to 1825 is the Barbary War Uno. But the Barbary states, and Barbary is the name of them because of, there are so many things that have been bastardized because of like British nomenclature. Like the term Oriental. That's a fucking offensive term. You know? Like, but regardless, Barbary is kind of the same thing as calling something a barbarian. Like the typical term for a barbarian or barbaros or anyone of the Thracian was an even earlier throwback. The word Thracian typically meant at one point, or Scythian, at one point just was like an all-encompassing term for barbarians north of Greek territory. Barbaros, barbarians became the term that the Romans would use for anyone who just pretty much was not a Roman citizen. Like, if you were on an outskirt of Roman territory, you were a barbarian, for sure. And the British did the same thing, or they would use general like groupings of words. Saracens is a good example. Berbers, Barbers, Barbary, all those things. Nah, it's fine. We're good. This is history. But those are all like kind of generic terms that are just kind of thrown in lieu of actually learning the culture of the location. So Maghreb became the Barbary states after Spain retook. It ends the Reconquista. It's the last thing. Not Cordoba. Starts with the Gibraltar, basically. Maybe it is Cordoba. The last emirate, just to the far south of Spain. Let's start with a G. Either way, they take it and they completely capture all that. And then Spain starts to go south. And they're like, well, if we've got this, let's just keep pushing. Because the Spanish Empire at that time included Sardinia, portions of Italy, including Sicily, and it had expanded really, really far. So they're like, let's just go jump into the Maghreb. And as they expanded south into that, there was resistance from corsairs. And the corsairs eventually took like ports in like Tripoli and Algiers and held them and became client states of the Ottoman Empire. Because the Ottomans at the time did not have Egypt. So the Ottomans basically got a foothold into northern Africa through the Corsairs. And they used the Corsairs to basically keep pressure on any and all of Christendom, Catholics, whatever you want to call it. But this allowed them to kind of curtail any Spanish expansion. And over time, the Ottomans took up more of North Africa. And I think it's like by the 1500s, mid-1500s, you have almost the entirety of North Africa being either directly owned by the Ottomans or a client state. And the client state for the Ottomans was the Barbary Coast. And the Barbary Coast was just really a series of ports. And they were pirates, they were corsairs, but the way that they operated was they were independent in that it was not a standing military, but they kind of had privateer status. Privateer was anyone who had a writ of marque or something like that, a marque. And that marque was like, oh, okay, I've got pretty much carte blanche to go and attack that nation's ships. That's how privateers work, right? Corsairs kind of had the same thing. And at the same time, though, they were required to also protect the not the states, but the port cities. So they protected the port cities, and they paid a yearly tithe to the Ottoman Emperor. And through this, they would get shit tons of money by just attacking any and all ship that would come through the Strait of Gibraltar into the Mediterranean. What is up, Curious? So by doing that, they would pretty much hang out around Sicily and Malta. They would also raid the coasts and take tons of people in into the slave trade. Well, that's what we're talking about, Kazakh. That's what we're getting into, is the Barbary Wars. So, at this time, the Barbary states, for the most part, the Barbary coast, their ships were these kind of like, not a schooner, but they were much smaller type of ship. They had a series of cannons in the front, and they were more experienced in hand-to-hand. They would basically board ships and fuck shit up, because, you know, this is not the age of sail quite yet. And there's a whole bunch of really cool individuals who did a lot of really cool stuff during this time in the Barbary states, and I forget all their names because I'm not really good at any kind of Islamic name. But they all pretty much listened to this one guy who was kind of like an admiral, basically. He was like the pirate admiral of the Barbary coast. And each individual ship was controlled by a race, R-A-I-S, which means captain. And that race had to get basically permission to go do any of these big raids, anything like that. Admiral Akbar, who was an actual individual in history machine. And did I go do this? No, I gotta go to college. That's it. The race would give permission to go do stuff. They would go, they would raid. And again, slave trade was a real big part of this. And you have to also remember at this time, the Dutch East India Trade Company wasn't really pilfering in the trade triangle, you know what I mean? Which was predominantly African slaves. This was any coast, any Mediterranean village was pretty much just being ransacked, and they would just sell people off for slaves. And eventually, as things progress, the Barbary coast gets their hands on full-fledged ships. And a lot of people started to leave Christian kingdoms and come and work and live in the Barbary coast that were Christian. One of the more famous ones who left the British Navy, like he deserted the British Navy, not John Smith, not John, it's John, it's like a name like that. It's like a John Jacobson, like super name. I can't fucking remember his name off the top of my head, but he goes and he joins the Corsairs, and he changes his name, he converts to Islam. But a lot of Corsairs were expats, some sort of Christian expat, and they didn't care. There were no laws against it. Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, you know, that was my name too. I want to rewatch Master and Commander. Dude, Master and Commander is one of the best fucking movies made by human beings. More white slaves were taken by them from U.S. and Europe by the Barbs than slaves were from Africa, and so that's another big thing too. It's like, right, like it pushed so many people away from living from the coast. They would live inland. It was wild. But the Barbary coast didn't really care if you were Christian or if you were Islam. It was, do you want money? Is your goal money? That's because that's what the Corsairs' objective was. It was just to get money. So over time, there we go back over here. We do this over there. We do that there. No, I wanted to though. Over time, they would get access to ships with larger masts, with bigger with multi-mast ships. When you think of a schooner, you think of a ship with a single large mast, and usually a yes, I very much am machine. And I can't remember the name of the front sail. I think it's just called the front sail. There's like a boom mic or whatever the fuck. But as ships progressed and as the evolution of the Age of Sail started to kick in, and we have multi-mast ships, the Barbars, the Corsairs, started to now, rather than just simply raid the Mediterranean, head sail, thank you, Kazakh, they would raid all the way up into the English Channel, into Dutchland. They would raid the Dutch. They would raid all the way over into Greenland and Iceland. They would raid the Canadian and the American coast. They were pretty much out of control. So in the 1800s, I think 1821 is the beginning of the Barbary Wars. Berbers and barbers. No, it's just it's an evolution of the same term. It's a generic term for used for any Islamic person that inhabits the Maghreb or portions of Al-Andalus. They become the Berbers. And the Barbers are just an evolution of that. The Barbary Coast is where it derives from. But when America ratifies its constitution in 1776, and we have the Revolutionary War. Revolutionary War ends in what, 1781, whatever the fuck it is. And then after that, we kind of struggle internally. We have the Articles of Confederation 1. We have the Articles of Confederation 2. And through those times, we don't have an actual standing military. The military was left to the individual states. The individual states didn't really have a standing military. And then the War of 1812 comes. War of 1812 is the actual true War of Independence. Because War of 1776 was stymied because of French blockades against British reinforcement. And during the whole War of Napoleon and all that kind of action, once things kind of started to clear up and they had more breathing room, Britain was like, okay, well, let's go get those wayward fucking colonies back in the US. It wasn't, well, we recognize sovereignty? That's the word? Well, American sovereignty. They didn't recognize it until after the War of 1812, which was until like 1814, when I think it was a 2-year war. And the War of 1812 is, you have these Napoleonic war veterans, or just seasoned veterans of a lot of different engagements, coming over, landing in basically the South, the start of the South, and moving up and down the South, and dealing with a lot of shit, right? They didn't really know our land, right? Because they weren't landing in a location where there were imperial loyalists, right? Like, 1776, you had people that were still loyal to the crown. But in 1812, they were like, who the fuck are you? People, for the most part, would just kind of avoid. And the fights, there were barely any fights until the Battle of New Orleans. And Britain went and burned down the White House. Then they had a freak hurricane. The majority of the 1812 was actually fought as naval battles. Then a freak hurricane smashes through the majority of British troops and kills them. And Britain's like, well, maybe we things are starting to get really wild over here in Europe. We should sign a treaty. The treaty is signed. I can't remember the name of the treaty. It's a really cool name. And the treaty signed in Britain. I think it was Britain. Well, the word didn't go back until to New Orleans for like a week or two. And in that time, the Battle of New Orleans happens. The battle kicks off, and it's a massive British army attacks a fort in New Orleans, led by Andrew Jackson. And right at the start, a fucking cannonball takes the general's head off of the British force. And the way at that time was that men were most honorable and most gentlemanly when they fought teeth to teeth. And that's why you have stupid Napoleonic tactics where they line up and just shoot the fuck out of each other. It's the dumbest fucking thing. Which goes into the Civil War and fucking stops there, thank God. But because lieutenants and sergeants and people in line got all their orders from the general. The general was how orders were disseminated, because that was a gentlemanly way to fight. You did not take your own, you would stand in fire until you were told to retreat. You would not march until you were told to march. So when the general died, it caused this massive amount of disarray. People didn't know what to do. They were getting killed in droves. You don't fire your gun until you're told to fire. So, and of course, history is written by the victor, right? But apparently, like, the death toll for that is something like, I'm using hyperbolic numbers, like 400,000 British soldiers and 4 American soldiers. It was something very, very disproportionate. It's like, the war had been over at that point. So America now kind of has something to prove. 1812 kind of tells us, okay, maybe we actually do need a standing military that is part of the, like a national military or something like that, rather than just simply state-run military. And we start to try to get involved in international trade, because sure, that part of that treaty was, America is its own sovereign state. We will allow it. But we weren't seen as anyone other than just simply, to use a colloquialism, because third world country is something that only comes up in the 20th century. We were kind of looked at as essentially a third world country. Like, oh, okay, yeah, they're not really a big player in the game. They don't really have a big, even though we had plenty of trade potential, right? We still had tobacco. We still had plenty of stuff to trade. And we were trying to get seen on that field. We would trade with France, but by and large, our trade wasn't huge. And when we started to trade more and more, we started to deal with the Barbary Coast. So the Barbary Coast created a series of treaties with Western European powers. And the Barbary Coast treaties were basically, you pay for passage, in which case you pay us yearly a fee. If we see your flag, it's another big reason why a lot of nations flew their flags during the Age of Sail. If we see your flag, we will completely ignore you. And the Barbary Coast used to fuck around and like, oh yeah, no, look at our flag. We're definitely part of your nation for sure. Then they get close and they'd fucking pop the green flag of the Barbary Coast and attack them. So you basically had to pay, essentially, blood money to not be bothered by the Barbary Coast. And this became like a bidding war. The Western European nations would bid out the other ones and say, well, okay, well, we'll pay you more if you go and attack them and ignore ours. And over time, this just became an issue where the Western European... Oh, back to the Imperial area and return to this door. I have to go back again now? Oh, I still haven't gone back here. They just hadn't dealt with it. Like, oh, we'll pay them off, because they're fucking up everything. Well, when they asked America to do it, America was like, no, we can't afford it. It was something like they wanted $250,000 a year, equivalent of $250,000 a year, which America didn't have, and like $60,000 a month or something. It was a really exorbitant fee. So, America being a nation of very not standard ways of war, goes, okay, well, we're not going to do that. After hearing about more taxes 20 years, like, what do you mean? You guys got a water tax? No, sir. So they get in these little minor skirmishes, and at this point, America doesn't really have a big navy. We've got a couple ships. A lot of them are on loan. They're older ships from France. And one of the ships gets captured. And I don't remember who it is. It's a prolific name in American history. It's not Andrew Jackson, but it's a name like Andrew Jackson as far as like that level of gravitas. So one guy's ship gets captured. This motherfucker goes down one city down, sneaks into the city, and fucking lights all their ships on fire, takes back the ship, frees the prisoners, brings those motherfuckers on the ship, and leaves. And it's like, you see what we can do with just 2 ships? Imagine what we can do with more. Like so the Barbary War #1 stops like that. They're like, oh shit, these Americans are loose cannons. We can't fight a fight like this. And the second Barbary Wars was a more like conventional naval war, and it was filled with tons of American raiding, because we were raiding in ways that other Western European countries weren't, because they don't typically do it. But we were just like, okay, we'll fight you here, but we'll just send a bunch of shit down the coast and raid you. No, they didn't destroy the Barbary states. What they did was, through both of those wars, it secured America as a superpower. Now the Western Europeans had to take us seriously, because we were able to fight on toe-to-toe grounds with a force that they were scared of. And it caused a landslide effect that after the end of the Barbary Wars, other European nations were like, well, if they can do it, so can we. It's gotta be... Betty Ross was knitting a flag on a fucking boat in the Barbary Wars. So the other Western European nations, rather than paying, banded together and said, no, fuck that, we're not going to pay. And they started to attack the Barbary states whenever they saw them. And trading vessels would be escorted now and weren't just simply on their own, and so on and so forth. So that ends the Barbary states, but privateers, it kind of swaps. Instead of Barbary states, it becomes... Yeah, the French were definitely involved. Definitely, the second one at least. But the Barbary States gets replaced with like the high age of privateers and piracy, because rather than hey, why are we paying an external Corsair faction when we can just pay our own men, privateer, give them slip of mark, that's what it's called, and have them go to town. According to Sleepy Hollow, Betsy Ross was vital to stop supernatural threats against America. We got a sub up here, by the way. Trill Wolf, thank you for resubbing. Well, I'm closer to death with all of you. There you go. There's a spawn. Oh, that's porn. There's a Chrome for some, or not Chrome. What's this called? Opera GX. If you boot it back up, it goes, did you want to rewatch the porn you were just watching? No. No, dude. You don't want to rewatch the porn you were just watching. It's like when you get done watching porn too, and you're like, oh god, what fucking barbarian had 17 tabs open? There you go. There's your random history lesson for today, guys. Do you guys want... Have you guys seen the game Millennia? We're only 29 right now. We're not very high. I've been spending too much time making videos. And I'm not going to the gym today, so I'm probably just going to be grinding. But I've not been wanting to grind really hard lately. I've just... Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it, Jay. I got offered it by Paradox. They're like, hey, do you want to do a contract with us? And I looked at it and I'm like, I don't know. Dude, Helldivers might be... If there's a good... If there's... I don't think Helldivers will win Game of the Year. But I think it needs to. Range gathering storm with the staff. Curious, I have not. That's a pretty interesting prospect. No room. That's fucking Pebbles Collar again. But I think what is important about Helldivers is that it shows us that you can actually have this fucking stupid concept of a this concept of a live service game actually work. Let me go back. Yeah, I saw what you can do with the staff and everything, but I kind of wanted to play every shaman build is a fucking Spriggan totem build, and I was like, no, I kind of want to make an enhancement shaman. What's up, Professor Falcon? Yeah, and I like how there's races that are going to appear in Helldivers based off of how we approach doing things, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's cool. Yes, yes, yes. Cold. You know what? I should reset my filter. Okay. Ugh, that's gonna be kind of a pain. Can I just sit over? I have it. Oh, sick. Okay, can I change this? Configure. Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, Gathering Storm. Take that off. Let's put in Hurricane. No, am I using her? No, I'm using. Oh, can I not do the other ones? Well, I'm curious, and I'm using the filter wizard, and I just want to swap out. I want to drop like, uh, I just want to do in all these things. Man, is gold. Okay. That'd be on. That would actually be on. Okay. Okay. Where the fuck's that coming from then? I don't know. Maybe I'm fine. I'm just thinking about it too much. A personal item. I think those are items that I drop. Isn't it great? Isn't it great? I fucking love it. Fucking slab. Slab. Fucking Pebbles collar. Is there not a respec guy here? Not that I know of, Booty Thief.
What do you want?
Yeah, I mean, this is, like I said, it's 30 people big and 15 of them are actual artists. Which isn't any less of a dev, but it's not like an actual programming dev. So, I'll definitely give this game plenty of credit. Okay, I want that. Oh, God damn it. Fucking son of a bitch. I got it. All right, Falcon. Thanks for hanging around, doing a little lurky lurking. This is physical minion and physical. I need some good singy hand. Oh, like that. Do I need maces or axes? Kill, bing, bang, bong. Good axe or mace. This allowed me to do axes and axes and maces. Got to go in the primary. Axe can go in the offhand.
Yes.
I don't know though. Last Epoch base items. I just kind of want to see. I need to look at the implicits. Because I'm trying to find minion stuff. Interesting. Okay, so there's like no minion shit. Scepters, wands, two-handed axes, two-handed swords. Rings, relics. I mean, that's not too bad. It just means that I'll have to... Yeah. So there's no one-handed blunt or one-handed axes that will do... I probably am going to want... Monster Hunter Rise is on sale. Probably stun chance. I don't know that that works, though, with, like, shock. Chance to bleed on hit. Let's see how this can be here, huh? If you have any questions about what I'm doing, like, oh, explain, tell me, I'll help you out. In any way that I can. Battle, brother. Do chaos. See if we get lucky. See if we get lucky. Ha! Aha! Okay. I take that. There goes all my fucking forging potential. Well, this thing became not so good very fast. You know, I probably should have done here is this. Well, does this... Can I do that still here? That doesn't cost me any forging potential, and that's why I'm doing that right now, because I should have done that earlier. This, we're going to Rune of Chaos it. Okay, it's fine with me. And this will Rune of Chaos, although physical damage is fine. I just prefer that be melee damage. That's not good. Oh, it's so much worse. Oh. I'm building so far so good, dude. Excellent. This should be good. This should be good. Can you share your thoughts and reservations on the game? I don't have it. I don't have it. I was there asked me if I want to do a contract, so I have to make the decision of whether or not I want. So I'll hold on to this in the off chance I don't like going with this right now. But what do you guys think about rolling some dice here and doing this? So, unique amulets. Epoch. What I want to do here. Are these organized by level? Okay, so I want the claw. You can summon wolves up to your max number of companions. So there's a chance that we get it. And since I'm level 29, my pool for available amulets is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 1 out of 6. I think we do it. I think we see if we can ascend it. It's a really good... It won't... We'll lose some damage potential here with lightning damage, but we'll have more wolves. And wolves give us stacks of Stormbolt. Remember that. This is a different kind of gambling, Apertril. This gambling is fine. Ha! It's not in any way what I wanted. Yeah, last epoch, the austere spoon. I looked at last epoch tools to look at the unique amulets. This is actually a really good one for my build, so I'll take it. But we can't use it until 71, so fuck me. Yeah, it's still a great necklace. We just can't use it right. I wanted to... Oh, God, I didn't use that one, did I? Okay, good. I wanted to get the Fang. So what the Fang does... Or the Claw. There's another one called the Fang. The Claw increases my cast speed, which is nice. Gives me health. Increases melee physical damage for minions. You can summon wolves up to your max number of companions. My max companion amount is 3 right now. So I get 3 wolves. And remember, my wolves can howl, which will increase my attack speed, my damage, everything. But they also give me stacks of Stormbolt, which is part of my build's mechanic. The Claw, or whatever one I just said, opposite. The Fang. The Fangs, you can summon wolves up to your max companion amount, but now your minions cannot be stunned. They get more physical damage, you get more health, and I get physical necrotic resistance, so it's really good. Yeah, so the reason Greenblood, I've chosen the skills I've chosen is because my Beastmaster Druid has Swipe, Summon Wolf, Fury Leap, Warcry, and Frenzy Totem. So I didn't want to just make the same character as a shaman. That's why I'm using Gathering Storm. I'm still using the wolves, but the wolves aren't necessarily a vehicle of damage. They're a vehicle of a mechanic of the build. And I'm using Fury Leap right now, but once I get to 35, it's going to be Stormcrows. Stormcrows will be my traversal. And Maelstrom. So I wanted to mix up how I play the game. I was going to do a Sentinel, but I just really like this character. But, guys, I got bad news. The poop has come. 11:39 on the AM. Mark calendars. It's happened. It's poop time. I'll be right back. Oh yeah, I'm back. I used to have poop music, but I have poop music. I just didn't. Coffee's fucking. I am like low key delirious right now. Yeah, I didn't put the music on because it had been starting non my music. It was playing like some other randos music. Okay, so we went with a mace and an axe specifically, and let's go through why. So I've got the passive that allows me to equip an axe or a sword in the offhand, not a mace. And why we're using an axe and not a sword in my offhand is it coincides with this skill. Gathering Storm deals additional spell damage per 3 melee damage on your equipped axe or mace. In this case, we have both an axe and a mace, and we have melee damage coming out from this. Now, unfortunately, this is doing increased necrotic damage, which is not going to help me at all. But this one is doing increased lightning damage, which is going to help me. What I wanted these to do, though, because you know how you can increase the physical damage on them? Nay, what I wanted was this. Increased melee damage, because that melee increase to melee damage would have corresponded to spell damage increase for Gathering Storm. That's how I'm pulling more spell damage into the build, by increasing the melee damage on my melee weapon. I didn't mean to say all that so fast. I don't really drink coffee. I drink Sneak. And concentrated iced coffee is I don't know how to fucking judge how much caffeine is in an ounce of that. So I'm ripping good. And spell taste time. Ooh, that's all like that. And this is all just to get big stacks, juicy stacks. Oh, look at that, man. Oh, weird. Whew. That's a lot faster. It's just to get those juicy Stormbolt stacks so we can just keep ripping through things. And what we want to do, too... Let's show off this in a second here. What we're going for next... That was good. Is this... Whenever you expend a storm stack while dual wielding, you now cast storm bolts at 2 enemies instead of 1. So we're going to basically get, in the instances of horde clear, our storm stacks are going to 2 for the price of 1, right? 1 storm stack is going to give me 2 bolts, which I really like. Right now, does this help me out? I think this does. So what I'm thinking of doing is taking the points out of this. This increases my melee damage by 25%, but I think outright the attunement benefit of this is a higher benefit than this. Let's go ahead and push through this area, and then we'll go respec that. Because what I'm looking at is per point of attunement, I get 1 spell damage. Versus a 25% increase to my melee damage, which I get 3 spell damage per point of melee damage. Or no, I get 2 spell damage per 3 points of melee damage. That's a good point, Kirazan. But this also gives me tons of lightning resistance, which is kind of nice. Maybe I think too, I kind of... This is nice, but I think I get rid of it. drop this entirely. So take these 3 points, because I'm 1 point over. So take these. Let's take these 2 points. Put them into here for more health. Correct, Titan Spork. But I also get some scaling from strength. So strength isn't completely wasted, but our focus is primarily on attunement. And with that totem up, I get massive increase to my armor and attack speed. Okay, we'll do that. I have a problem with, like, these abilities kind of don't cast sometimes. I've noticed that you can cancel casting.
Yes?
I kind of want to make a necromancer though, because I've just got so much. I've got so much fucking necromancer stuff. I've got 3 pairs of goddamn Void Knight boots.
Yes? Godspeed with you.
Minion health, minion damage, void resistance, mana regen, minion health, endurance, fire resistance. There are, I think, I read a thing that there are a disproportionate amount of necromancer uniques in the game. Back QWE. You can just swap those out to a different button. Okay. This does increase physical damage, which is probably pretty interesting. Here. Kirazan or whoever wants to. Take a look at that. That's a list of the bases. Which one-handed axe and or mace would you guys look for in this build's consideration? Razor Tartarus Pro. You see, I try to stay on the same ecosystem for as much of my RGB bullshit. So I've got a Corsair mouse, Corsair keyboard, Corsair fans, Corsair closed loop AIO cooler, and a Corsair RAM. Unfortunately, Corsair doesn't fucking make GPUs. I've got an MSI motherboard. We'll see. Curious, I can't find a... There's no... Is there... Do you see one that does lightning damage? Implicit is lightning damage? I see melee cold. I didn't see lightning. It's either going to be minion or lightning. But outside of that, I would also assume stun would be good since I'm doing shock. What there is the Tartarus an MMO mouse? Well, you know, the ones with all the buttons on the left side. Because I thought about getting one of those. I've always wondered how it plays. Oh, it's a gamepad? Let's see. That was a fucking gamepad, goddamn. You play with a fucking gamepad, man? How's that for you? I used to use a trackball mouse. Where it was the track, it was actually kind of cool. I actually really missed it. It was really fun. Tempest Maw type. Tempest Maw? What's Tempest Maw? I'm not using Tempest Strike. See, I don't know how people fucking play like Battlefield and fly fucking shit so easily. I'm like, are they using a controller? Like, what are they doing? They're using a joystick. So Corsair gamepad. Is Corsair have a gamepad? No, they don't. Corsair's like, no, we're not gonna do that. That ain't our game, buddy. Yeah, I'd get a scimitar maybe. Yeah, the trackball I had was balls in the center and the buttons on the left and right side. You'd use it like this. Oh, no, no, no. Was it a thumb one? I can't remember. What's up, Tiger? They dropped one today? But I downloaded one before I booted up. Yeah, I've got a patch for BG3, Hell Let Loose, Battlefield 2042, Vampire Survivors. I am on... I think I'm on 1.01. That might be pretty good. Can you guys see up here? What is this? Yeah, it's 1.01. I have an FPS block thing over there blocking that. So I bought some new brakes and rotors, and I was going to have them put in on Friday. I was pretty excited about it. I was going to replace my brake lines with stainless steel brake lines too. But I was looking at a bunch of different sets of them. And I was looking at the, I drove a Ford Focus ST. It is a manual sport trim of the Focus. And I was like, oh, okay, well, cool. I was looking at, you know, front and back rotors and brakes. Cool. Well, I accidentally bought just the fronts. So I have this fucking 90-pound stack of fucking rotors and brakes here, and it's just a set of fronts. So I just bought the rears that are going to come later. And then I got a little crazy, and I decided to finally upgrade my front-mounted intercooler because it really sucks on the car as stock. But I have to see now if I have to retune the car, which is going to just be another $600. You just stack it on up there. Or bleed unless you're stacking crit, then go with crit. Well, I'm not stacking bleed in any other source gear. That's the problem. Greenblood, I think you said crescent. Is there a crescent axe? I know there's a crescent two-handed axe. Can't find it. What the fuck? Well, I'm not really using physical damage. Physical damage isn't the focus. I'm using lightning damage. Physical is coming, but not really. Now look at this. This is lightning, not physical. These do some physical, but it does mainly lightning. Did I convert their damage to physical or lightning? No, they just have a chance to cast storm bolts. This is lightning. This is lightning. Well, this is actually cold right now. Oh, it gives the wolves lightning damage? A helm? Ooh, baby. Oh, my butt. It's got like a random butt clench. I don't know why. My butt was like, oh! Let them know you mean business. Yeah, like the constant like hail of lightning is really cool. Right now it's good. Okay, so that's a better thing so far. So let's see here. So this mace is technically better than my mace because it has increased melee damage. Can I try and do this? Yep. Oh, fuck you. Huh. Okay. That's not bad. That's not bad. And I'll risk discovery. That's fine. Okay. So this. So right now our 330 DPS. The attack speed might make this. So now it's 347. Because we had more melee attack added in because of the modifiers here. This rules are tabulated with lightning strike. So I've got this. What did I do? This. Your wolves have a chance to retaliate. That's the helmet? The cold modifier might help a little bit with Maelstrom, but I don't know how. Howl of the West Wind. Let me take a look. Peak of the Mountain. Howl of the West Wind. 30% chance. Okay, so did that just replace this entirely? It would replace this. I guess it would maybe just rolls cannot be stunned. Indian attack. Chance to hit lightning. Ooh, damn. Chance on hit with lightning skills to grant your wolves additional melee lightning. Dude, this is sick. Give me that fucking helmet, baby. Level 24. So I forgot that the Runes of Ascendance, they don't... I thought that they rolled within your level range. They don't. Black on unique or set helmet. Echo rewards. There's a way to spot farm Ascendance, though, and I can't remember. Does anyone remember how to do it? For those that are veterans here? I don't remember how those work here. Smog would know. What are you doing down? Oh. Goblins, for sure goblins. I feel like if goblins existed, they would have like really weird bullshit menial jobs that we wouldn't want. Like, oh yeah, you fucking... But they would love, you know? Oh, we're definitely going COF, by the way. When did we do that? Speaking of melee shaman, so far you're going for lightning build. I am William Dooley. So I kind of made my own build off of that guy's build, Dooley. Did you comment on YouTube? Did I send you the link? The water god, okay. Lagon. Is it Lagon in the monoliths or in the story? Okay, so that's actually not... I think that's the end of this act. Yeah, that's the end of this act. When is David Harbour in the game? Isn't the Hallowed Graveyard or something? I go here? I can't remember. Oh, there was a quest that took me here. Well, this one's going very well. This one's going really well. I think this is just... Something brings me up to one of these. I can't remember. You sleepy puppy back there. Okay, chapter 7? Okay. You know I have a really weird craving for? Oh, that was it. That was it. Is a chicken pot pie. I don't think I've had a chicken pot pie in years. I don't know. Easily years. Easily. There's a place by me that makes a pretty good one. I think so, Kier. Spellblade is really, really strong, Tiger Bomb. Fire Cleave is a really cool Spellblade build. One of my favorite cooking YouTube channels did a whole thing on making like little mini chicken pot pies. I'm like, man, I want one. It's raining this weekend. I kind of want to get one. Yeah, I like, this is fun. This is fun. I like how like hectic and crazy. There's just fucking lightning bolts everywhere. And this isn't even, so my Maelstrom's not even creating storm bolts. My storm crows aren't up yet. So there's way more storm bolts to be coming. Yeah, Gathering Storm has improved map-based critical strike chance per stack of Maelstrom. Oh, baby. That's gonna be a number one big shot. Big shot. Alright, Kier, sounds good, man. God, I can't wait for Dragon's Dogma 2. Does anyone know what they're going to play vocation-wise? Have you guys been watching the vocation videos? And, I mean, don't worry about it. I'll be doing a vocation video. Yeah, what are they? Yeah, can I come over, Chris? I'll watch movies with you and your wife. I'm actually going to swap out Fury Leap for Storm Crows. And Fury Leap right now is just my traversal because it doesn't really require any skills. Storm Crows, once I hit 35, I'm going to jump down for this to Sky Passage. So Crowstorm becomes a teleport. And Crowstorm will just increase my lightning damage across the board. Yeah, the Magic Archer they just brought out yesterday or so. Which one's the Magic Spear? Do you know the name of it? Is this called a Lancer? I think you'd have a long play, but there'd be enough. Thank you, Crisp. assassin sniper. Okay, all right. There's a lot of vocations. There's a ton. I don't really know how the skill system works in the game. I'm gonna have to kind of like sit down and look at all of it so I can make the video of like, hey, you know, here's how the vocation system's gonna work. Just, like, I don't know if it's like, hey, okay, you know how in Skyrim you can choose pre-made characters that have specializations in certain skills, but you can just still choose those skills later if you want. Like, oh, you can choose a Spellblade to start off in Skyrim or Oblivion, or make a custom character, which is going to be a stealth archer, and then just learn the Spellblade abilities. You know, like, I don't know how it is for Dragon's Dogma. I never played the first one. What does this thing look like? Damn, that's fucking cool looking. Mystic Spear Hand. Doesn't it have co-op? Dragon's Dogma 1 did, didn't it? Or do you just take control of the companion if you do co-op? Is that it? Oh, damn. Wikipedia app was wrong. System. So the pawn system was cool though. I like the pawn system. Roman? He is hard passed out behind me. Thank you very much for following, Sir Tech Fanatic. Guys, if you are watching on YouTube, do make that switch to Twitch. It does help me out quite a bit. Little Roman's passed out on the floor right now. Such a peaceful looking little puppy. Even though he's a fucking crackhead.
Steadfast.
Poop anxiety is something that I think we all have had or have currently. I got poop anxiety once when I was high. I took an edible, and it caused like, it just led to like constipation. Man. It was not fun. Gotta take more fiber, dude. The anxiety. Dude, this must be your first time on my streams. That is not a weird confession. In fact, I told the whole story when it happened. You have enough fiber. There's no time. There's no time for anxiety. Your body's like, no, you don't get a second guess this. It's coming out. It's coming out right now. I don't need like 24 hours for a flight. I'll poop on a flight. That doesn't bother me. I think time is usually what causes poop anxiety for me. Like, hey man, we gotta get going. Or hey, like what happened to me specifically. We were at BlizzCon, Smog, me, Rob, Pat, and what is up, Mortis? And we're sitting there and I was like, my edible started to kick in while I was pooping. And you know how you hit that like time dilation when you get high where you're like, oh my god. It has to have been 30, it has to have been 114 minutes. Then you look at your watch and you're like, it's been 8 seconds. But it was like, okay, hey, let's go back to the apartment or the hotel real quick. I'm gonna shower, poop and then shower then poop. It depends on how you feel. and then let's go get dinner. And so Techmanatic, thank you very much for watching, man. Like I said, my streams and my videos are two different breeds, so I apologize. But I'm sitting on the toilet and I was like, oh my god, I've been sitting here forever. I feel so bad. These guys must want to go eat food. And it had been like 5 minutes, but by that the damage was done. The anxiety had kicked in. And my butt was not releasing that poop, but I also had it building up. My body was like, but we gotta. So I don't know what we're gonna do here. It was definitely like a 4 or 5 hour ordeal. It was not fun. Eventually it passed at like 1 in the morning. I was sitting there, my body was like, hey man, just release. Just breathe, bro. Just breathe. I got it from here. Ah! It was like forcing out an arm of clay. Minion bleed chance, increased frequency to like spending storm stacks. I like that. But I don't like the size. I like this. You always get poop stories with me, baby, you know. Coming over here with your that sweet ass. Am I this way? And do it. Okay. And do it. Okay, let's just shatter it now, okay? Fine. Oh, great. We've got the fucking shard. Should have just shattered it from to begin with. So you use remove shard if you're trying to get a very specific shard off of an item. These gloves, they're low. I should probably swap them out now at this point. This isn't really actually helping me. It's just I like the resistance and the leech. You'll use remove shard to try to get specific shards off of items. And if you hit what I hit, where you just run out of remove shard, where you're like, just screw it, just shatter it. I ended up shattering, because shattering is not you. Okay, there's 4 affixes on this. If I shatter it, it's not a guarantee I get all 4 shards. Or all 4 affix worths of shards. I might just get 1, I might get none. It just depends on what it is. So you kind of have to roll the dice. Like, see, this is filled with a lot of good ones. But I'd probably just shatter all of it, because it's like, oh, okay, I got most of what I wanted. The rest is just kind of gravy. I suppose it's no different there. They used. Really? I feel like ARPGs are better for me. Because back then I was so scatterbrained, I would want to like do other things all the time. Now I can actually focus and like complete ARPGs. The highest level I used to get back in the day on D2 was like in my 40s or 50s. Now I've had characters that are 99. The last couple times I've played D2, and then D2R for that matter, I've gotten most of my characters to 70, 80 plus. Which is when the game really starts to slow down and grindy. I don't think I even got a character to 100 in Diablo 4. Well, to be fair, Remortis, I've been putting out videos for this since it came out. And I've been playing the game for 2 years. But I don't have a max character. This is my highest character on the cycle, on the season, and I've been making videos. It's like, in fact, actually, as a YouTuber, it's become harder for me to complete stuff. Because I need to focus on work. Like, you saw how long it took me to beat BG3, let alone get level 12 in BG. Because I just like to savor video games. I like to savor, especially good ones. Like, I watch Netflix shows. People like, oh yeah, I watched like 18 episodes this weekend. I'm like, no, I watch only when I'm eating. You also have kids. You also have a child. You also have children, and a wife, and a career. This is my career. My dog is my child. Those gremlins. What age did you have your first child? Valheim is so relaxing. I love the graphics of it, and I love the music. We're 26, 27? Damn. I think I'm 10 years older than that. And I don't even have a girlfriend. Let alone a serious girlfriend. Let alone anyone I want to... I don't even know anyone I would want to have kids with. I don't know anyone I'm like, you know what? Yeah, like if we were like really close and dating, I'd want to die right now. I'd want to have kids with that person. Like, no. I don't even have anyone. You old fuck. How's it feel? How's it feel? How's it feel to crest another midpoint of a decade? It's you, Rachel. I'd procreate with you, Rachel. Just to hear you nag at me. Oh, damn. I didn't know you joined in your later 20s. I figured you joined at 18. Don't threaten me with a good time. You just want to come to my fucking family's Christmas festivities. That's wild, man. That's unhealthy. You tell him to go get a fucking job. Oh shit, and wolves. Come to me, wolves. Come to me, wolves. Oh, I wasn't fucking paying attention again. God damn it. I wanted to be a chef. Hey, time's never up, baby. I forgot about this guy. I don't even remember how I do damage to him. Why is he giggling at me, dude? Yeah, see that? And you probably got bad acne from it too, at one point, right? Well, I didn't get me wrong, you've been a lot of celebrities and cook for tons of people, but it doesn't pay shit for how much you work and all the weekends, holidays, and family gatherings you miss. Not worth. Yeah, man. My friend who owned the catering business I told you about, he was like, he's like, yeah, I did all these cool things for all these people, but like, I never did anything with my family for like all that time. Yeah, exactly. It's like contact dermatitis from being around oil all day. Oh, Rice is eczema. God damn. And it's such a high. At least it's not dandruff. Yeah, I don't have that problem. It's such a fucking high stakes, stressful environment, you know, and that amplifies those things, you know. God, my eczema went up with all my fucking anxiety recently. I have the benefit of being a very depressed person, but having a somewhat like weird sunny disposition to all of it, so I never really get like, I never get really bad stress. I'm like, yeah, whatever, sucks. That's life. Yeah, see, I operate really well in those environments. I like drowning. I like levels of work that are over fucking whelming. Because I'm like, yes, a challenge, the ultimate challenge. Yeah, 100%. Control chaos, the way to put it. Where it's just like a massive orchestration. Nah. No, we're listening to Final Fantasy VI theme because it's time to kill Kefka. help you? You okay, bub? Your little goopy eye, huh? Because it's like, for me, I dealt with that in retail. I dealt with that in, like, because I was in charge of these stores. I'd have to go to the stores. If it was Black Friday, if it was holidays. All right, we're opening at 6 in the morning. Like, when I was working in retail, it was like it was like that span of years when Black Friday was like the medieval times, dude. Like, shit, people were charging the doors and stuff. So that was like big crunch time shit. And when we had Skyrim, Battlefield 3, and Modern Warfare 3 all released in like the same 60-day period, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say the Oaks Mall, Rachel. The what the fuck's the name of that store? It's not a Hot Topic. It's like where everyone who used to went to Hot Topic grew up and got a disposable income. And they started going Urban Outfitters. And they watched too many fucking indie goddamn movies with Zooey Deschanel. And they're like, nah, fucking dumb. Right. But and I did a lot of theater. And I'm not a good actor. So I would because I did improv. The improv was my thing, and it's like when you do fucking improv, like they're like, oh, here's a script. You're like, I can't do that. I get into like, if I read from a script, I get like a voice. A lot of people like think of like your phone voice. If I read from a script, that's what I do. Why I don't write scripts. The beginning of my videos always sound different than the rest of my videos, right? Because that beginning is a script. The rest is me just talking off the fucking cusp. So I did a lot of tech work for theater. So I was in the truss. I was working on things. I was building stuff. I got my carpenter's license doing that. And then my acting stuff was usually like, okay, you're going to be on stage. You're going to be ensemble. And I got involved in fight choreography. So I can teach people how to fight with a rapier or with a broadsword because I loved it so much. And I would get like you can become like a master of arms. Like they usually will have one person who's certified to fight with those things. But then you also have to upkeep them. So I got that job while also fucking building shit. And I fell out of trusses. Hell week of theater is so fun. Because it's the same thing. It's high octane. It's like everyone's just fucking going hard in the paint on every little thing. You're working all hours. It's community theater though. So it's like it's not real. You know, it's not like a real stress. There's nothing actually on the line. This isn't gonna go to box office. You are the one who are the ball lickers. I'm gonna click commander, baby. God, I love that fucking. Ooh, I like that. No room. You fuck your room. No room. No room. Thank you, man.
Welcome,
Have a good one, Remortis. What are you making? Are you gonna make another PG3 vid? Love you too, baby. Guys, go check out Remortis. If you like my Baldur's Gate videos, you owe it to yourself to go watch Remortis, because Remortis taught me all the things that I know about my Baldur's Gate videos. That's why a lot of the videos I shot him out. So go watch Remortis' videos. There's a lot of porn in them. Big porn guy. Real big porn guy. Go into my video. Zip. Here's a question to the audience. The 80 bros that are watching right now. Would you do porn? And okay, here's the caveat. You can do porn, and let's just say it's no face porn. If there's a worry that people would see who your face is and recognize you, let's just say that they don't. Like maybe you wear a fucking mask, you do like a luchador, whatever it is. Actually, yeah, Jay. I usually will have someone within a game that I play that helps me and gives me a sounding board. Because doing it on my own is too hard. I need someone else to bounce ideas off of, or else I'm just fucking stupid. I had one for Border Collie, who comes into chat a lot. He would help me out with Age of Wonders and with Crusader Kings. Asus, who comes into chat a lot, he would help me out with both as well. If I had the piece for porn. What's the piece? Oh, the dick. Oh, the cock. You mean you fucking shalanger. You don't use a piece in front of me. You say you're fucking rumpus dumpus down south. You say you're cock. You say you're fucking shalang. You don't need to say piece, baby. You don't need to be politically correct around here. Talk about your hog. I don't care. You know, actually, Rachel, most people who use OnlyFans, they have an agency who does the description for all their videos and all their posts and all their content. They make the content themselves. They hand it to the agency. The agency will do bleed-in posts of saying like, hey, here's like 1 or 2 pictures from the post that's I'm doing a drop in a week. Oh, I got this big one coming. It's in a week. It's in a week. And they lead you into it. And that's like, if you've ever read an OnlyFans post, because I have. Because I was like, I have to know what this OnlyFans thing is about. I've signed up on a free OnlyFans. I gotta look into it. I'm not just gonna I'm not gonna hate or approve of it without knowing about it. Yes. That's how fucking bad things happen. It's like Sam or it's like Mac and Always Sunny. Oh my God, show me where is it, so I know not to ever look at that dirty, heinous stuff. But they'll say stuff like, "Oh, my naughty little wet pussy is waiting for your super sweet hand." No, it was a free one. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna pay for this. I just have to see what this is about. And I was like, this is annoying because you have to pay for every little thing, and all the pictures shown are on social media anyway. So it's like kind of getting bamboozled. But a lot of those descriptions are written by just teams of people. Could be a dude, could be a girl. Who knows? Someone's writing it. Not the person you're looking at, though. Ooh, that's disgusting. Which website? Where is it? I have a friend who worked at an agency like that. And his agency, I'm like, oh, how's your marketing agency going? He goes, really well. I'm like, what marketing is it did you do? He goes, OnlyFans. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I don't know they had agencies. He goes, yeah, people will sign up. They just give us their content. We write all the descriptions and we do the timeline for everything. Oh, hey, Greenblood Crusade's wife. Yeah, we were just talking about OnlyFans. Greenblood was saying that he definitely does not have an OnlyFans. If you're wondering how he's been able to afford all these bills and all the brand new car and everything, it's not because he has an OnlyFans. I have a stance on that, booty thief. True, true. As someone who does watch porn and is single, I think you, as a single dude, should not watch lots of porn. Watch porn. I don't give a fuck. But, dude, like I get really weirded out when I have like guy friends like, yeah, man, you know, like you just go jerk off, you know, like fucking 2 p.m. I'm like, what do you 2 p.m.? The sun's up, man. I got shit to do. I'm not gonna like, oh, let's rip off an afternoon delight in the middle of the weekday at 2 p.m. I do, booty thief. If you're fucking ripping and gripping down south constantly, here's what I have noticed. pandemic creates some bad. Let me chap up on this one. Here's what I've noticed. If you're a chronic masturbator and watching porn all the time, there's nothing necessarily wrong with it. They do have real porn addictions, as Chris just said. But I was like, you know what? I want to try a month of just no porn. Or if I do it, I will do it like I'll only masturbate like in once a week. Like create time in between. And what I noticed was the time in which I wasn't watching porn and masturbating a lot, I was forcing myself to have more interactions with women that I typically wouldn't have had. Because I think what you do is when you go out, you see as a pretty lady in the club, you know, the live techno music is blaring through the speakers. You're like, I'm going to ready to rumpus my rumpus on her. The impetus to go and talk and make a connection or talk to someone and get their number or whatever becomes easier to dismiss. You go, well, I could go talk to them and maybe I get a number. Maybe it comes into something, or you just go home and watch porn and not really think. And you don't necessarily directly make that mental connection, but I think it's a subconscious connection that your brain makes of like I could just not do it and it's no big deal. It's not like a direct connection of like, oh, I could go talk to her or just go jerk off. Like it's I don't think it's like that. I think it's more your brain doesn't feel the need, the true draw, that like the thrill of the hunt. Because I think that your brain just kind of like, sure, you could go for it if you want. It's up to you. I mean, if that's what you're into. It's kind of like passive aggressive at you, like that fucking roommate who leaves post-it notes everywhere. But I think I think there's some credence to that. I don't know. I'm just a fucking dude who makes YouTube videos. I'm not a behavior analyst, even though there is one in chat right now. I am not David Goggins who would say that in a podcast. You got to burn your boats. You want to get married, you want a wife, you got to burn a boat. And then you got to wake up at 5 a.m, take a cold plunge, burn a boat, marry a wife. Oh my God, my eyes hurt from doing that. Like, David, calm down right now. I think that my opinion is that we are a very over-sexualized but under-sexed society. We might be horny. We might be bombarded with the imagery of sex, but we don't actually have it. And I think that causes, and I'm saying think because I don't fucking know, repressive tendencies and or tendencies where people create taboos around sexuality. I think people just need to fuck more. Within the constraints of like safe, responsible sex. But I think if they did, I think a lot of social tensions in the world would be released. I think a lot of issues that sexes face would be a little bit more dumbed down. And I think overall, there'd be less tension. There's so much tension. And a lot of times I'm like, that person just needs to get fucked. There's just so much tension with things. I'm like, you just need a bad blowjob at this point. Again, I'm not an authority on anything. I'm just a guy who makes a lot of intuitive guesses at shit. It's really weird, man. Like, so much fucking effort is put into all that crap. And I'm like, oh, God. Like, imagine caring so fucking much about someone's sexuality in the nature of their actual sexuality or the way that they want to pursue their sexuality. Like, who gives a fuck? I'm not trying to jam a dildo up my ass. I don't give a shit. I don't know. Maybe I'm really drunk. Maybe the dildo kind of... There's never a line for me on that one. Never like, I could. And I think there's a virtue to that though, right? Booty thief. I think that repressing sexual tendencies is wrong. But I do believe in like virtue or purity of the notion that like you want your sexuality to feel purposeful. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. There's a nature to that, booty thief. What a name, dude. Like personally, I don't really like to have sex unless I'm in a relationship, but I like to talk about sex. I'll make out with someone. I'll do a little, I'll be a little DJing. Oh my god. Oh my god, what am I? Who am I? But like, I just think that like I don't want to personally waste my time on someone transactionally. It's boring. Like beatboxing the diddle box. I've made this distinction to people like, dude, you just gotta have sex more and blah blah. I'm like, no, man. Okay, let's think about this. I'm a busy person. I'm not just fucking. I'm not someone who's got time to just go like, I think a lot of people just fucking sit around and watch Netflix all day. They don't have any fucking inside hobbies, and I think that's weird. But I'm a busy person. I got a job that I'm like self-employed on. I train very seriously. So I can't just be fucking, oh, I got a text, time to go wash my balls, get in my car, drive to the location, have awkward beginning talk, start to have sex, get back in the car, come back. That's like a 2.5, 3 hour journey for like, I don't know, 7 to 14 seconds of mere pleasure. Like, I don't know. Like, I like to put a lot of mental process and thought into it. I'm not just sitting there going like, okay, I'm going to slam a lukewarm hole until I'm done. You know, like that fucking is barbaric. I don't give a fuck. I can buy my own food. I don't need someone else to buy food for me. Yeah, I do. My name is Cian Courtney.
Be well. Yes.
Oh, I want that one. I'll leave that bitch.
Be well.
Like, I think of a lot of like Gen Z and how Gen Z is very obsessed with the imagery of sex, but also the denial of that imagery, right? And also the clout, quote unquote, that is attached to sex. What's your body count? No one fucking cares, dude. I don't like people that have high body counts. I don't care if you're a guy or a girl. Like, there's the whole notion where it's like that adage of, oh, a key that opens many locks is a good key, but a lock that is opened by many keys is a shitty lock. Like, no. Fuck that. Anyone who sleeps with a shit ton of people, they're probably not going to fall within, like, my spectrum of someone I want to hang out with. Because that becomes all that they want to do and think about it. That's their sole focus. And it's like, Jesus Christ, man. So, like, someone's saying, like, I remember I was talking to my friend who, she's 21. And she got like weirded out because I posted my other friend on my Instagram story. We're arm around. She goes, "That's sus, dude." What are you talking about? That's my friend's girlfriend. Because that makes it even more sus. I'm like, no, it doesn't. I was like, we're in our 30s. We don't give a shit. Like, we're friends. Like, he knows I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna do anything. And she goes, "Yeah, I guess you're right. When my body count is in the triple digits, I guess I won't care much about that." I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I think the triple digits, I'm like, I don't think I know a single person that I probably know someone, but I don't associate with them daily that has 100+ body count. That's fucking wild to me. Oh, Kirizan, 100%. And I find once you stop focusing on sex, you start to have more honest conversations with people. Like, I can talk to man or beast. and just to have a conversation on the level, because my focus in the conversation is not to have sex. Like, my brain isn't just like, gotta fuck. Like, and honestly, too, majority of my sexual partners have not been great. So I'm not like, oh man, gotta go have a not cool experience. Last month, on the effects of porn on men's sexual interactions, but on OnlyFans effects on girls getting the attention partners would give. Yeah, you see, that's kind of where I'm coming at. That's where I'm coming. Greenblood, we're coming together right now on this. I think that it's like each of the sex in that situation, in this, you know, typical kind of architecture, are getting the validation externally and artificially, right? Like, women are getting emotional validation from OnlyFans, which is not real. And men are getting physical validation from porn, which is just not real. Goes beyond a hobbyist. That's professional level numbers, dude. Yeah. I'm a big believer that if you're a single person and you want to get in a relationship, you need to repair or fix your boat. You know? Like, you can't just expect to jump into a relationship. And people do. Like, I'm not saying that this is necessarily bad. It's just what happens. That's how serial monogamists work. But you can't fill the hole inside a heart with another person. It's got to be filled by yourself. You have to learn to kind of reappreciate who you are, fall back in love with yourself, all those kinds of things. Build confidence in doing things on your own again before you can actually truly jump into a real good relationship. Any relationship that is born of serial monogamy is just a relationship that's built to fail. Fill a hole with a hole, baby. Words to live by. I care. I don't like there is no sanctity to sex anymore, especially concerning women. Well, you see though, like, I think, Curious, I think that is not true. But I'm saying it's also true. I think the projection of that is true. The reality is false. Like, there is no sanctity to sex, but it's not been sullied. I think the image of it has been sullied, but the reality of it isn't. That's what I'm saying, is we are overly sexually stimulated, but undersexed. Like, I don't think anyone's actually out going and having the sex that we all talk about, see, and are bombarded with. Here's, and guess what you're going to have happen to you now? You're going to find a relationship because that's what happens. It's called the law of attraction. You're going to attract someone because of that shit. Yeah, and what'll also do, Titanium Spork, is you will throw the burdens, failures, and successes or patterns of your previous relationship onto your next relationship. You will treat them in some sort of similar way. It comes, man. It comes that way. I don't know, because I don't like that. How old are you, Curious? This is not like I'm not taking a crack at your age. I'm genuinely asking how old you are. Yeah, listen to this guy. Fucking how old are you, man? No. I don't like that I did that. I'm gonna do that later. I find no, Kira, not Kirazan. I find that if you fuck up in your skill progression, wait until you've maxed the skill. You're 36? Yeah, we're the same age, baby. Wait until you max it out and then respec. Because there's no reason to fall into the deficit now for a skill point you don't get back immediately. You might as well go the progression you want, then get rid of the things you didn't want. Unless it's like a whole, like, okay, I don't want to go over here, I'm going to go over here. You know, I kind of have that notion too. Kiris. You guys are both Kiers, so it's hard to say. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, Kieran. But there's definitely a part of me that thinks to myself, like, okay, I'll always be single. I don't want to date anyone because I've just seen that it just leads to a lot of trust issues. But I also have to be fair with myself and realize that that's not fair, right? Like, that's not fair to myself. It's not fair to anyone in my future. Because not everyone is like that. Just because I've experienced the 100% of the 1% or whatever it is, doesn't mean it all exists that way. Because you have to believe that people in your life that you do like and trust, there are more of them, right? Like parents, family, close friends. You have to exist at those. You have to admit that those then exist outside of them. It can't be the fallacy of everyone outside of my close circle is untrustworthy. It has to be that there are other people that exist in that same exact footprint. Well, yeah, that's also a lot to run through here. Here's that. It's like when a lot of people get very doom and gloom on the world, and as it is. Global warming is going to kill us all. AI is going to take over and kill us all. We're going to have a whole bunch of nukes that are going to just wipe us all out. We're going to die from microplastics all over the place. If you believe that all those bad things are going to happen, then you have to believe, because this is the way that logic works, that all the good things are going to happen. If you're going to believe 100% of the bad things, you have to believe that 100% of the good things are going to happen. So likely it's that percentages of both will occur. And it's the same thing with people, right? Not everyone is untrustworthy pieces of shit. You just happen to meet them. That can be true. Hello, Scaly. You like to fuck lizards? What's the Scaly? You know, though, Kiras, not Kirazan. It also might be because you are older and you present more confidence in where you are in life. It might not simply be that because you're not interested, they're interested. There are portions of that exist in the reality of the attraction, right? But you walk into a bar and you aren't looking. You don't have those hungry eyes. You immediately stand out because of it, even if subconsciously. And there is an attraction to that. Or if because you're not looking, the way you interact with people, you're not trying to create okay, let me create a verbal narrative that leads to some form of sexual conversation. Your questions become genuine. Your interactions become genuine. What you say seems caring and seems like you actually want to connect with the person. So I think what you might be looking at as 100% they just, you're not interested, they want it. It might also be that because you sound genuinely interested, they want it. Because they're like, oh man, this person seems like he actually wants to talk to me. This is what I've told people. If you are trying to find a girl, if you're trying to find a guy, the only thing anyone really cares about is being appreciated and genuinely listened to. That's it. Yeah, sure, physical attraction is always going to be a thing, but you'll choose the person who makes you feel better about yourself over the person who looks really pretty. And that's another thing too, right? Like Titanium Spork is talking about, I was about to just bring this up, is that people think, oh, like now that I'm in a relationship, I'm not a need, people can't just get at me, now they want me. Like, no, it's because your conversations are genuine. You're not talking to your girlfriend's best friend because you want to fuck her. You're talking to her because, hey, you're involved in my girlfriend's life. I love my girlfriend. I want to talk to you. We're friends. And they're like, wow, he's such a good listener. You know, like he genuinely is listening to me and he's genuinely and he's asking me questions in kind. He's not just saying, oh, cool. Yeah, your day was hard. What are your tits like? How hard do your tits get? You guys gotta know how to talk to women, and it's just like that. Hey, babe, how hard are your tits right now? All right, Rachel, you're not ready for that kind of thing? You know what else is hard? These tits. If someone breaks anyone's trust, I consider that a red flag indicator. All of my current friends are very trustworthy, though, and my significant other of over 10 years has never broken my trust. I think, too, like, it's also the realization that, like, trust can be broken on smaller levels, you know? Like, hey, I trusted you to go pick up Chick-fil-A for me, and you fucking didn't. But and it's agreeing that like those exist, agreeing that your partner's not perfect. And it sounds like you created that relationship. My cousin just left his fiance. They were together for 10 years. She was shitting on him for 3 months before he found out. Oof. Rough crisp. It's also like when you're in a secure relationship, suddenly just like when you just said you're not hungry. And dude, so Rob's brother is a bartender. Rob's brother says, always used to say like, dude, you can see the guys who just walk in. They walk into a bar like this. Just those fucking hungry eyes. Just like a fucking... looking around corners and shit. Like, no. Do you have more fun with a normal barbarian or throwing variant? Wanted to get an opinion before trying to... You know, Chaotic, I genuinely like the normal barbarian variant because it's how, to me, personally, a barbarian plays. And the throwing barbarian was just to kind of min-max it for honor mode. And it was fun. The damage numbers were cool, but it just kind of felt like I was falling in the same route every time I played. Versus just like, yeah, I want my barbarian to jump in there, get all up in that ass, and just throw big crit numbers. I like that more. It might not be as optimized, but the normal barbarian to me felt more fun. If you're not playing honor mode, play a normal barbarian. If you are playing honor mode, play a normal barbarian if you want to. You don't know a goddamn thing about hard tits, Rachel. Hard days make me hard. What about your nips? Here is that. Imagine that as an opener. You're sad? Damn, you're sexy though. Okay, see, like Tiger Bomb, that's a really good point. Like, I know you're joking when you say that. Like, oh, you're sad? Damn, you're too sexy though. Like, that is a really good example of, you didn't hear what I said. You just said what you wanted to say. In the instance of the relationship between men and women and just kind of saying stuff like that. Like, oh, I'm sorry you had a bad day, but at least you look cute. Like, thanks, man. Thanks for fucking listening to me. I really fucking appreciate it. So I'll go talk to anyone else now. Like, it's why being nice is not a good thing. Being nice is a really bad thing. Be kind. Don't be fucking nice. Because people that say they're nice usually means that they have some sort of ulterior motive. I'm a nice guy. Why am I not... Like, the friend zone exists, but it doesn't. The friend zone is an easiest way for someone to tell you they don't want to fuck you. But you can be friends with someone and have lovely long pillow talk with them if you're a genuine friend. I've done my best work from the friend zone. All my past girlfriends have been previous friends, and I was in the friend zone, as one would call it. The incident. Oh god. I know what you're talking about, I think, but when you... I hope you don't refer to it as that. Like, it was voluntary. Exactly. I'm so nice, you'll sleep with me. Of course. And this is coming from the guy... has anyone seen the movie Just Friends? With Ryan Reynolds? Ryan Reynolds, Amy Adams is in it? Is Amy Adams the main love interest? No. Who's the girl he was trying to get when he was a fat little kid? But his Ryan Reynolds' character in Amy Smart. Thank you. Not Amy Adams. I was like, it's not Amy Adams. She's in Superman. Amy Smart was so beautiful. Ryan Reynolds' character in Just Friends was 100% me in high school. There was a girl named Taylor, and I thought being that kind of guy was how it worked. You were a nice person, you listened with the motive that wanting to date them, and that's how it worked. You know, that's how it's supposed to work, right? No, it's not. Because it's a one-sided situation, right? Like, I'm sitting there expectant that my behavior begets something else. So I learned my lesson. It's like I always tell people. You like a girl, talking to a girl, you don't know how to tell you like her, just start calling her a dickhead. Just put things on the same level. Because no one wants to feel like they're up on a podium, up on a pedestal. They want to feel like they are talking to another human being about human being stuff. Not, I'm talking to a girl, you know? Or vice versa. Or maybe even not vice versa, you know, maybe same, but different. Except it's Rachel. Fuck that bitch. Oh. Rachel's the sister I always wanted, but never got. Drop some ass so they don't run, it's a keeper. I don't know, man, I eat a lot of protein. Exactly. Everyone wants to be treated, they want to be genuinely heard and appreciated. They just want to be listened to and appreciated. That's it. If you treat them like a real, actual friend, it will work out for you. Oh! Not that time. Rachel, if you came over to my parents' house, and I was like, oh, this is my girlfriend Rachel, within minutes, you'd be going like this. Why are they so loud? Why is everyone yelling? Why are they yelling about? I'm like, they're yelling about the cold cuts. They're just gonna fucking yell. Just let them fucking yell. Probably also. Because of me is definitely a big answer there. A big yes. This is how my family shows affection. We just get it out of the way. We're not a family who harbors. We're just like, you're fucking stupid right now. You take your fucking hands out of your ass. I saw that video saved where I yelled at my mom. She's like, stop. You shut up. A mighty dream catcher. I love when we've had some good conversations today. We talked about the Barbary Wars. We got into another conversation on relationships. This is a good one today, guys. I like when we get into streams like this. It's hard to tell people that, like, yeah, my streams are kind of a little fucking loose cannon. A lot of the time, most of my, like, real life friends will always join when I'm like, yeah, so shit blood. Oh, fuck yeah, Kier. Good job, man. See, I know Matt knows exactly who I am. Everybody in chat say hi to M Cyrus J. It's Miley Cyrus. I've known her for years. Give a balanced view of who you are. Oh God. It was during New. So Matt had a New Year's party. I think the last I think since we've lived together, Matt, I spent every New Year with you guys, which has been truly the most fun I've had on New Year's. I don't like to do New Year's with anyone else but you guys. And this last year, oh my God, Matt was just clearing out all this just shitty alcohol that he had. I mean, some of it was fine, right? Like, you had like some good wines out and stuff like that, but then we started cracking out the Fernet and the Malort. And what was the other one? And we invented a shot, which was a combination of Fernet and Malort, called an ablortion. And Matt at one point goes, yeah, Ryan's actually seen me in some of my worst states. And I was like, yeah, I guess I have been there for a lot of those parties. You know, we don't have like a party booty thief. Like this last one, it was like a potluck. One of our friends brought like 15 pounds of meat and just grilled a bunch. The one before that, we went over to our other friend's condo and we just got so goddamn drunk. We did Happy New Year's every time it was New Year's in one part of the United States. Oh my God. when I was living with Matt, we used to drink. So we used to have boys' night, and it was just because a lot of the friends at the time, a lot of the friend group, they all had significant others. So we used to do a boys' night, which was just, hey, no girlfriends, just us. We're gonna go get like dinner and drinks. And I don't know where the original boys' night started, but when I started living with Matt, we started doing boys' night at Hooters. And you might think, oh, boys' night at Hooters. That actually isn't why. It was because it was fucking cheap. You could get wings for 50 cents a wing, and then you could get like whatever not a pint, but like a bigger than a pint, like a quart, I don't fucking know, of beer for like $4, $3. It was just so dirt cheap. And there's not a lot of places in this area at the time that you could actually drink, let alone on the cheap. So we'd go there, and we, like, some of the people like we knew from college were waitresses there, or in Matt's case, some of them were his students. He was an adjunct professor at our college, meaning he was just like, oh, he only taught like 1 or 2 classes. Wasn't like a tenured professor. So we'd go there, and then we'd get fucking shithoused, and we'd go across the street to a bar called the Tipsy Goat, which is now a shitty bar, and just get wrecked. Friday, wake up in some state, all do our jobs. Benton's in the Navy, right? Matt, yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad when it first opened, Rachel. It was nice when it first opened. Like, not nice, but it was just a decent bar when it first opened. And then it became super shitty 2-3 years after. But Friday night, we'd go out. We'd usually go to this one place called Bogey's, which I hated at the time because I didn't know how to dance and I wasn't really comfortable on dance floors. Living with Matt, I got comfortable being in social situations I was not comfortable with before him. Especially dance floors. Especially dance floors. I remember when we went to Vegas, Matt was like, I could fall asleep in a club. I'm like, that's ridiculous. I could never do that. I could fall asleep in a club now, for sure. I fucking could. But we'd go out on Friday, go out on Saturday, and then Sunday we would do a brunch. And a lot of people now will be like, oh yeah, we do like a little Sunday fun day. I do a brunch. I'm like, you don't do shit. You drink a goddamn mimosa. We would go to this one place that they ended up really liking us for a time. Then we got really wild there, but they'd bring you a pitcher of mimosas, and it was like $8 bottomless mimosas or some shit. It was super dirt cheap. And they poured like a whole pitcher of champagne, and then the guy like looked at us and just like, haha, and splashed fucking orange juice into it. Thursday to Sunday was usually some variation of blackout or brownout. It was not very coherent. And I did that for like 2 years. Man. I think after living together for 1 year, Benton and I decided that we wouldn't, because we would do an annual Cinco de Mayo trip to Las Vegas. We've definitely come a long way. Matt and I now very much like flax seeds, chia seeds, and hemp seed in our oatmeal in the morning. Benson and I would not drink until from New Year's Day, not Eve. We would drink on the Eve from New Year's Day until Cinco de Mayo, but we would have designated drinking days. They were usually 2 weeks apart. We would drink on Super Bowl, St. Patrick's Day, and Matt's birthday, then Cinco de Mayo. And they're roughly like 3-4 weeks apart, 2 weeks, whatever the distance is between them all. And it was like just enough. Because it was like, oh, let's just get super jacked for Las Vegas. I was under eating at the time, so I wasn't eating enough to get super jacked. Benton, on the other hand, fucking walked into Vegas looking like a dick skin condom. But you know, though, had I not had 2-3 years like that, and then follow through kind of like dips back into it every so often, I think I would have tried to find that today. And I think that's kind of what happens to a lot of people. They find some sort of something that prevents them from having any kind of fun, creative, or wild time in their lives. And then they go to try to find it later. They go, well, all my friends always talk about it, and I kind of want to see what it was like. We have a friend who got married And then the girl he married wanted to like get divorced almost immediately because she had just started to kind of get into like partying and seeing what that was like. And she's like, oh, I kind of want to explore that. Like, at least they got divorced at that time, like right away, versus getting 10 years into a relationship because they're getting pressure to like, oh, I gotta get married, and I'm 24 to have kids. At least they're not like 10 years into having been married, having kids and stuff like that, and then go, well, I want to go party. That is very prevalent around here. Matt, I went to Canyon Club for the first time on like a happenstance last weekend. Man, that was an experience. I've never been accosted by more older women in my entire life. One girl was very adamant. Very adamant. It's so weird. It's so fucking weird. Because we had gotten dinner next door. And we were walking back. And Carlos's girlfriend, Shirley, was like, let's go in there. I'm like, oh, fuck. And she was adamant, like, yeah, well, I got a scholarship to play softball. I was like, oh, did you play it like professionally? She's like, no, just in college. I'm like, oh, cool. When was that? She's like, 2001. I'm like, oh. I think they had softball back then. Like, it was really weird. It was really weird. One girl like accosted Rob and was like, oh, you know, my brother committed suicide, but at least I'm out here having a good time. And Rob was like, pulled him onto the dance floor. Like, I went to college in 2006, Gears in, so it's just a lot of like, man, just a lot of the conversations that were going on were really, 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 really weird. Ah, god damn it. I graduated high school in 2006. I definitely think so, Lemon Flavored Tea. I think it's got more staying power than any other ARPG. I think the people that are already bored with the game, that are like, oh, there's nothing to do in the end game. From what I've seen, like, I've been like, oh, have you done, like, empowered monoliths? Like, no. I'm like, okay, well, then you fucking haven't done the end game. Shut the fuck up. Like, I've seen a lot of people that are like, oh, there's not much to do. And I'm like, looks like you haven't done anything. It's all about the gear grind, because that's what ARPGs are about, right? I think a lot of people want different acts out of... They want different things to do in ARPGs that are just not things that you do in ARPGs. But I think people need to kind of... change their expectations. Because I think they're coming into these games going like, well, I want like a new narrative piece. I'm like, well, okay, sure, but it's not how this genre works. It's like going, yeah, you know, the new FIFA game was great and all, but the story was kind of lackluster. It's like, what? I don't give a fuck about the story. I'm trying to play some exhibition matches, baby. I think what Last Epoch has going for it is it has a lot of build and class diversity. And on top of that, it has a dev team that is young, hungry, not like money grubbing. And on top of it, they are attentive. Like, they listen. They change things. This game is entirely different the way that it used to be 4 or 5 years ago. Graphically, even especially. Oh, the servers are, I'd say, would you say 100% fixed, Kirsten? Well, that's actually not true. Yesterday, I was doing a video and I got these weird lag spikes where things would all happen in quick succession. So I'd say they're probably like 80-90% fixed. Definitely, there's not anything like what it was last week. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, 100%, Nick. I'm just playing right now because I've been playing Baldur's Gate for the last like, oh god, man, like 6-8 months, and I don't want it to become a job. I've loved every minute of playing and covering Baldur's Gate 3, and I got to a point last week or a week or two ago where I was like, man, I can't think of videos, and that's dangerous. Because if I can't think of videos, I'm going to start making ideas just to make content, just to have money, and that's what I did with Total War, and I can't enjoy Total War anymore. So I don't want to do that to Baldur's Gate 3. So right now, I'm just giving it some time. Hopefully we get some sort of news of a DLC or something like that, but I'm definitely going to jump back into my Dark Urge playthrough not too long from now. But I also at the same time have 130 videos, so you should have tons of content to pour through. Oh, shit. Thanks very much, man. I appreciate that, dude. Oh, what the fuck is all that? Is that me? Did I do that? Those little fucking orbs from. I think it's from the enemies. The Storm Wraith. What passive did I just get? I think I need a different thing. Yeah, okay, it's from the enemies. It's from the enemies, right? Right? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It's from the storm. There's something over there, not me. Boy down there. Yeah, I would love if they did a DLC. Even if it was just Avernus or the Upper City. I'm ready. I think it's Booty Secret. I think it's from the, some of the monsters, these Storm Wraiths, I think, are doing it. The Storm Cage seems to have resistance to my storm attacks. I couldn't tell you why. Oh, a satyr. What's the spreading flame? I agree too. Darkness too. They're we don't know what they look like yet. They haven't. They've said that it's something that's going to happen in the future. We don't really know. But eventually there will be cosmetics for pets. Still cosmetics. Yeah, I haven't found it too. There's also items that change it too, which is like there's the Primalist helmet that turns these guys into squirrels. Although the 1.0 patch kind of nerfed them. You know, too, like, people are like, oh, don't support this fucking toxic shit. I'm like, it's a small dev house. Their points are dirt cheap, dude. Like, nothing on there is even, like, crazy worth it, too, you know. Do what you want with it. I didn't. I can get 350. What the fuck? I upgraded my edition and everything. I only got 100. These Stormbolts, man, it's so fun. Yeah, soon I'm gonna have ravens. Well, crows, but Fury Leap will be replaced with fitting on myself. The Storm Crows soon. You give me those idols. Oh, so glad I'm not going to the gym today. It just like dawned on me. I'm like, I have so much free time. I'm gonna go fucking see Timothy Chalamet ride a goddamn space worm. Just scissor that thing. Riding that space worm, baby. Hmm. Fuck yeah. Good affix here. What's a good suffy? Here's my... Oof. Get videos first time actually catching one of your live streams. Well, Duck Slayer, good to see you here, man. I'm sure you've experienced a very different experience than my videos, as is the case whenever you watch any of my streams. I don't know if there's a specific resist I want to add in here. I could do physical. That looks way cooler. I lost some attunement, but I'd rather have the much higher armor. That one I just picked up is right there. Yeah, if I can get that mana to minion health, this would be real nice like. Oh, you go do your work, okay, Rachel? Your work. Guys, Rachel's been unemployed for 7 years. She's just waiting for Wendy's to start their surge pricing. Lost stun. Eh. Yeah, it kind of levels out. I know, like, okay. Bye, Rachel. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for having fun, friend. Be here for now. What's up, youngster? What is everyone's favorite RoboCop? And did you guys play the game Rogue City? Oh, pot pie. Oh, I heard pot pipe, and I was like, yeah, get that pot pipe started, baby. Yeah, we'll be ending stream in about a half hour too, so hang out, have fun. Hi, man. The dick out thing is really funny. But I love the first RoboCop, but RoboCop 3 is so good. And they kind of have like the Battle of Detroit. Oh, you got to rewatch it, man. Watch on Netflix. There's a show called the Movies That Made Us. And they kind of go into like cult classics. And they talk about that movie. And it's so good. Yeah, watch the Movies That Made Us, and then rewatch it. I think it's really fun to kind of like know a little bit behind the scenes about how that movie was so close to being axed. Yeah, it's got 16 stacks, baby. Crushing Russian over here.
Hurry, you'll have easy. I'll take that as a yes. Get to the railing and give a signal when you're ready.
And away we go.
Ha! Not as cold as I'd like, but I enjoyed that.
A tasty 1 gold piece, you know?
Washed up it's yeah, I'll hang back. I'll only slow you down. Please, go on without me.
Let me work the end of time real quick. This is the monolith thing, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm. Shit. Got to buy back that. Oh, okay. Good. You're at 4 minion health? Pretty nice. Nice, got it. Let's take this. Got it, nice. The rest of this is, as you say in France, poopy. Good, 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 good. And let's do it. Let's roll some dice. Do we get lucky here today? Rune of Ascendance makes us not what I want. Fuck. Use duration for snap freeze, increase cold spell spat. Snap freeze, fuck off. Ugh.
Take care.
I'm sure as an entire set it's pretty good. Yeah, we got fucking these damn things. Bunch of slabs. This is a cool sword though. Increase melee attack speed, movement speed, ward gain on melee hit, 1% chance per 20 ward to gain haste. Elemental attacks, like it's a really good early spellblade weapon. If you make a rune master, Kirazan, this is gonna be really good. Snap freeze though, I probably wouldn't use. I wonder how it looks. Oh, look at that thing, it's thick looking. At one point, a lot of these didn't have a graphic. I believe they do. They all do now. No, I think it's just Primalist. Yeah, that does. Big old chunk of rock. Cool torch. This doesn't. A lot of the body armor is unique. It's not unique. It just is like your character. You should, yeah. That's the cool thing is like you get so many items that you can use in all your other characters. Like my other like my legacy guys have just so much crap. Take it. Okay. Where we going? What is it? We got time. We got time. The ruin era. How dare you lie to me, Kier?
May a terror smile upon you. Farewell. Greetings.
Come over here. Let's go do that. This could be annoying. Let's do this. Go back here. This here. We said we're going to keep this for the minion, for the leech, right? And not go into attunement right now.
Greetings.
Seems to be okay, but there are definitely like points where it plummets.
Do not dwell on
Which I think is more related to my shitty defensive resistances. Especially poison and necrotic. Void too. Like a lot of those three is what are the damage types that are done to you. Let's take a look. 2 more levels and we get another specialization. And it's gonna be that storm crows. Oh shit. Yeah, it's kind of like chunking down like that. But what is it? It's melee, increased melee damage leeches health. It's not like we're doing melee damage with this because it has a melee tag. Poison's rough and tumble. Holy shit. Pets do. Oh god. No. Well, I mean, I think they do, right? Isn't it usually this minion? Oh, it's showing me that's yeah. Physical lightning spell melee area. Fuck. Yeah, that ability also helps the minions too. It gives them life leech. Minion melee damage leeches health 2.5%. That's true. So don't you unlock this further ahead and come back from what I remember? Level 34. Ba da 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 da. It's a quest in town. It's a quest in the town ahead, though, right, Greenblood? Remember, you have to backtrack for it. Oh, baby, that's good. That is good. Oh, fuck. Physical damage, never mind. It's like, oh, my penis. What's wrong with you guys? You guys, this is my stream. Why do you talk like that? I think we're gonna roll the dice here. Do discovery. See, this is my favorite thing. It's like, oh, okay, well, this is cool. This has got kind of the base stuff I like here. Let's do that. Shred and health on melt. Do that. Fuck yeah, that couldn't have gone better. Let's see if we can get this. Nope. Nope. God damn it, shit. Well, at least it critically succeeded. 371. 407. Okay, so that still does more damage overall. The shards on here are better, because this has got increased in melee damage. Better or worse than D4? Before you buy it on Steam, Judge Shred, buy it through my Nexus store so I get credit for it. It just gives you a Steam key. Better than D4, hands down. Oh man, thank you for also subbing up, dude. Very kind of you, brother. 7-Up, subbing up. You use this link to my Nexus store to buy Dragon's Dogma or Last Epoch. You can also buy microcurrency if you want it through that too. Oh, my first time my minions, I've seen them go so low in health. My minions, no! Should have been paying more attention. I'm kind of cool with the upgrade here. Kind of like that. Minion dodge rating, increased movement. So like 23% movement, armor, health per regen per second. The health regen per second is terrible.
A steadfast supporter.
Overall, those are pretty good. But hey, Sade, thank you for following, man. I like the frogman. The dragon's frogman's funnier. He just wants to ride a dragon, you know? What came out of that fucking thing's mouth, dude? Out of my fucking eye. The eyelashes have been my bane of my existence lately. The new Scorpion models look great. I'm like canceling out some of my spell abilities, which is really weird. Like using right click. If I press E, I can't cast it. So I can't hold it down. I kind of have to be better about like, okay, casting it and then doing that and then right clicking. Or else I'm kind of like, I'm sweeping, but I'm not actually using my totems. You move it over your map. What are you talking about? The tooltips for some skills in there. There's no DPS display for some of my skills. That's because you're a falconer. Oh, you see that? A rare shard. That's a good one if I did cold damage. Yeah, 100% I would. Of course, man. Thanks for jumping in, dude. Yeah, my minions, come to me. It's just because it's brand new. And I think it's like that because it's probably a little buggy. And they're probably waiting for a big pass. And I think that got delayed because of all the server issues. So I would just kind of hang tight. It's probably just like a little issue on there. And what the fuck is that? Oops, I can boot it up Premiere. Dune Wraith of the Ox. Yeah, man. If you want to use it, if you want to get it, Zypher, use my Nexus link. There you go. Actually, it just popped up in chat. But I mean, I love this game. I definitely think it's awesome. I liked it before Diablo. Then I played Diablo, and I forgot how good this game was. And I went to go play it again. I'm like, oh fuck! I love these mechanics. I get this thing up here. They're all really awesome, man. The classes are the class diversity is just so king in this game because it's just not. I don't know. You can play a bunch of different barbarians, but they all kind of play like barbarians. I feel Necromancer has some of the best diversity in Diablo 4, where a Blood Necromancer just focuses on overpower, and Bone is different than Shadow. Like, those ones feel truly different, but a lot of the classes just feel like you're just swapping out the graphic for them. And, yes. Let's put the Storm Crows in there. Good. Now this comes the Storm Crows. And it's really good, man. I'm a big fan of it. I'm a big, got a hard fan. I'm a hard, big fan. I'm a big boy. Big cheeseburgers. What did I do for this? For my little crow. Crisp. Glad I brought you here, man. So that's what that does, by the way. Now I can teleport with my crows. And we're just about done. I wanted to get 35 before I headed out. So now if I'm over here, boom, I teleport and I shock and do like lightning damage. So I feel like that's a little bit more synergistic. I can make it so Fury Leap creates storm stacks while I'm in the air. And that was cool. But I just kind of liked... Zypher used to be in my tourneys all the time. I used Fury Leap on another character, so I felt like this kind of felt more thematic to the Shaman. I used Fury Leap on my melee damage Beastmaster. So I felt like this was just kind of played better. And also that the Storm Crows buff up my lightning damage like crazy. So, I don't know, what do you guys think? Oh shit. Stop parrying it. Good lord, that was a lot of parries. Yeah, I'm liking that. Daddy's liking that. I don't know if there's any uniques that work around crows. Crow. Ashen Crown. Crown, that's the summon crow, right? Crow Storm. Wraithlord's Harbor. The Wraithlord's Harbor is really cool. Where rather than summoning up wraiths, you summon a Wraith Lord. It's fucking cool. Guess weird. I don't know how to get more crows. Well, I'll just restart this area. I think that's a good note for us to end on here, my bros. Oh, shit. Look at all this lightning. Look at this. Look what we've done. Loving it. I'm loving it. Stupid, why'd I do that? This limits me to 1 crow. Intelligence per crow. I don't know how to increase my crows. I looked at all this last night. This is cool. So you can go down this line and make it so that the crows heal you. The crows give you good berries, and they also give you ward. So, like, the crows can be really, really cool and advantageous. I love how they did it. Maybe it's a passive from the Beastmaster. There's, no, there's this one, but is there another one? Might be an affix. I don't know how to increase your crows. Last epoch, increase crows. Yeah, I don't know. I have to look it up. I'm not sure. Weird. Oh, I see. I don't know how to unsummon one. Well, there was a desummon ability. Rather than summoning 2 wolves, I'd summon up 2 crows. I see. It doesn't really matter. I don't scale with more crows. It doesn't do me any benefit. It's good, Dragon Overlord. I just saw your thing, man. But all right, guys, let's go ahead and shut the stream down for the day. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the we got 2 subs up today, 2 subs today, and thank you for all of you who do want to pick up the game, who do want to pick up Last Epoch to use my Nexus store. Let's go ahead and do a raid, though. I am a hungry boy. Oh, it'll unsummon them? Okay. This should... Ah, there we go. Yeah, I just wanted to see. I don't want... That's 3 crows. It doesn't do me any benefit. Because I'm not, like, going hard in the paint on stuff that's, like, per crow. Stuff like this one, or this one. So, we don't need that. We don't need the crow contribution, as it were. Go ahead, though. And guys, let's go ahead and do this raid here. So if you're watching on YouTube, do jump on over. We're going to do a raid on Twitch. Let's see who are we going to raid. Mama Diablo still playing? Hot Dutch gamer. Java Chip. Oh, Java Chip is playing. She's playing Final Fantasy. Boo Plays is playing Helldivers. I'll do a raid in Tibbs. Fucking love Tibbs. Full send, no balls. No thanks. No thanks. We're going to get this bad boy going here pretty quickly, guys. So thank you so much for watching here today. Have a good weekend. Wash your hands. Stay safe. Take care. I might just stream tomorrow. I might just kind of stream the next 2 days. I can't really think of another... I mean, there's other videos I want to make on this topic, but I'm kind of just trying to take it slow right now. I know I'm going to be going really hard in the paint on Dragon's Dogma, so I'm just going to relax, enjoy the time here, kind of like enjoy basically being on work vacation or whatever the hell it is. But as always, again, thank you so much for watching here. Have a good one. Take care. Wash your hands. Stay safe. And let's do this raid to Tibbs.